All right.
Right. So then you have the second component is called the nodal slider, which has a second clamp on it to mount the camera. With the bolt in the center of this, you can loosen this, change the orientation so you can mount lenses that have collars on them, like the 200, or some of the bigger lenses.
Color?
Yeah, the lens where the tripod mount is actually on the lens, not the camera, because the lens is heavier than the camera is. So you actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you can mount that directly. If you change this orientation this way, they have a tripod mount that is parallel to the lens barrel. So you need to turn it this way to mount it. This way, in this configuration, is correct for camera mounts. When the mounting plate is on the camera, this is the correct configuration.
I'm with you. So like the really heavy lenses,
yeah,
like 70 to 200.
From the 70-200 and up, all the Nikon range has a lens collar that is.
I've seen that.
Yeah, detachable from the lens, and that mount. That's the tripod mount.
Got it.
Instead of mounting on the camera.
Okay.
Because that would put too much stress on the mount point.
Got it.
Okay, so we open up our clamp.
Oh, sure.
This clamp is available in either this style with the knob, or the lever style as well, from Really Bright Stuff. Open that up. We seat that in. Since we have a longer lens, we're going to put this pretty far back and clamp it in. Good and tight. Then we level everything. So just increase the drag on the ball head a bit so we can level off. And then once I get level, I usually lock the tripod head with the good and tight. Lock the tripod head and release a bit the pressure on the ball head.
What is that for? I have never used it.
The drag? So this lets you, the drag slider lets you...
No. Yeah, that one.
This one.
Yeah, I've never used it.
This lets you increase friction on the ball head,
I see.
so that you can move it around.
I see. So this is like a finer adjustment beyond this thing.
Exactly. This is for locking it down tight, and this allows you, it's variable setting on the drag on the ball.
Got it.
To allow you to move it around.
Move it around. Okay.
And then it'll stick.
Yeah. That sense. Yeah, I should use it because it's using the other adjustment is to. Yeah, anyway, I understand.
Okay, good. So we'll level you off, these guys off. Actually, let's line this up with those. Move this guy over a bit. That's about right. So we'll level. And level and tighten. That's not going to move on us. All right.
So what eliminates the parallax?
So what eliminates the parallax is when we mount what's called the nodal point, or the no parallax point, over the rotational center of this panorama head.
Okay.
Okay. And that assures us that we have the same plane as we're going around the rotation, that the relation of distant objects is the same all the way around. Okay. And we can illustrate that when we mount your camera on. We'll show. This is really nice with live view. It's really easy to do. So we'll mount the 800 and line up the center points.
Why are you mounting it on using the portrait mode?
Because when you do panoramas,
You do portrait.
you do portrait mode because that gets you the most coverage pixel coverage.
Yeah, sure, I understand.
So when you stitch it together, you got a wider frame
sure.
this way.
Yeah, okay.
You can also do multi-row. They have gimbals that let you do multi-row panoramas that actually tilt the cameras this way and that way to allow you to do really, really big ones. All right, crank him down nice. We check, we're a little bit off level again, so check our level. There we go. All right, we are level. Maybe I'm going to slide him back a bit more.
So how do you know that we have the right point?
So we will turn camera on, activate live view. We'll take the
How do you ballpark it?
So ballpark it. What you can ballpark it is if you look at the end of the lens element.
Okay.
Last point of that lens element. This is the first method I learned. That's called the entrance pupil, because that's where all the light first enters the camera. That, for shorter lenses, if you put that over the center and you're shooting a wide landscape, not necessarily a close-up, something close-up, it's probably close enough.
Yeah.
Okay. It varies a bit for.
But in this case, this is here and this is here, so
Exactly.
it's not obvious, is it?
Right. The entrance pupil is too far out.
Right. Yeah.
So we'll need to do what's called the no parallax point calculation, which would be based on the focal length of the lens. This, with its internal movement, we need to figure out where that point point would be over the center of the lens as well. That's what allows the nodal slider allows us to do to see that in live view when we reach no parallax point. Okay, and slide it.
So we actually do that by doing this.
Yes.
To figure out that no parallax point.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you want basically two straight objects, roughly a yard apart, one taller than the other, so that you can see well, or have something of a very different color, two different colors.
Like that.
And that allows us to see very easily when we're in parallax. We have parallax when we've eliminated the parallax point. So, with live view, if we zoom in here and we focus, we can see that we're pretty much straight on. Let me move this guy a little bit.
Straight on meaning everything is all lined up.
Yes, everybody's lined up here.
Got it.
So now, if we come over and look at live view, if we release the tension on the panorama head, and we pan, we see that we're not too far away from the nodal point.
So we need to move it forwards and backwards until
you move it left and right. So if I move this slider up,
so if you're going to use a particular lens, you probably could mark it and we'll be done.
Exactly. You can do these calculations ahead of time, have them in a little book, and then you can just
it's not even a calculation, you actually going back and forth
Yeah.
to calibration.
Calibration, that's correct.
Okay.
But you'll need to do it for every focal length because it changes inside the.
So as we change the focal length, this thing changes.
Yes.
That's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So maybe we do it for 16 and 35.
Yep.
That's really what happens anyway, most of the time.
Oops.
Oh shit. Most of the time we are in one end or the other.
Yeah. That's very true. Let me put some water in this bottle.
Okay.
So